Welcome back to another episode of the You're Not Alone podcast. I'm Val.
I'm Morgan.
I'm serious. So we're trying out a new thing. For those of you that are just listening, we are trying to do more of the audio, visual, whole package. Okay, so that being said, I hope you enjoyed the opener jingle, and that will be our new little dance sequence, I guess, at the beginning. And then, of course, we're recording with the camera today so that we can get in front of people who might not catch us on the Buzzsprout version or listening in on the Spotify. So we're trying to cover everybody.
Yeah.
All in one.
Access more people.
Yes. So, that being said, welcome to 2026, Morgan.
Woo!
We made it through another year. Speaking of that, recent stats are in. And you ready for these?
Do it.
All right. This is year 2 of our podcast. So we entered year 2 in 2025. We had 11 episodes published last year, which puts us in the top 50% of all Buzzsprout podcasts,
Woo.
which is cool. We had 1,097 downloads, 685 minutes of recorded time with our friends, and we reached 33 countries.
Woo!
Which...
Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, give me more applause than that. Somewhere, somehow, I don't know why people are
They're listening.
finding us and listening.
And it's not just because I thought it was like Josiah with his family out of the country. But no, we're hitting like Canada, Israel, Europe. I mean, literally like
That's super
Africa. Cool. Yeah, it's so cool to see.
Super, super cool. So, yeah. Depending on the format that you're finding us on, please leave a comment and tell us where you're listening or watching from, because I want to know where everybody's at.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know.
So intrigued by that. When I saw the stats, I was like, no way! I might have like yelled it in my house. I was like, holy cow! And then even Chris was impressed.
But yeah, even that's what I told Jake too, and he's like, wait, he was impressed with out of state people, and then I was like, no, we're like worldwide. He was like, oh, so we are
getting
official.
around the globe.
Woo!
Yes. So I was blown away. I was blown away. I'm still a little shocked. Because I think that's awesome,
and we can't do that without you guys. So we do appreciate listening, keeping us on track, making sure we're doing our episodes. So
yes, holding us accountable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Literally.
We do have a schedule that we're putting out. We have a calendar on our wall here at work because that's where we're at, and we're adding names to that sheet and dates. And so we have some people already on the calendar, including somebody who may be a little bit different format. We may be doing like a phone call or a Zoom call to capture that one. So I'm super excited about that. That one will be about GBS, right?
Yeah.
So
Gambray.
Which when I was in school, that was quote unquote rare.
Yeah.
But working in neuro PT, we see that a little more frequently. So
yeah.
I think yes, you can. I think it's fair to make that statement. In PT, in general PT, it may be rare for a clinic to see something like that or somebody recovering from that in the past, whereas we see it a little bit more frequently.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. And then we'll have some stroke survivors coming on and sharing their story. And, of course, one of the things I want to make sure that we're not, like, making people feel about is that just because we've heard a story about a stroke recovery or a brain injury recovery or a spinal cord injury recovery does not mean that you cannot also share your story, because every injury is individual. And we've said it 10,000 times here in the clinic, is that injuries are like fingerprints.
Yep.
Individual to
different.
You, right? So, and everybody's perspective is different. Everybody's family interactions, friend interaction, everybody's different. And so that would be something to consider, is that you may be the puzzle piece to the story that fits somebody else who feels alone.
Yep.
And that's why we do what we do, right?
Right.
Awesome. Well then.
Okay. Well, today we were supposed to have a special guest, but unfortunately we had some.
We have to reschedule.
We had to reschedule.
I'm calling you, Kevin. I'm calling you out. I'm just kidding. No, we'll be talking to him here soon, and he'll be talking about his brain injury as well. So, Kevin's going to be coming on. Nancy will be coming on. And then the new gentleman will be coming on too. So good stories coming up.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
Stay
nice
tuned.
Start to 2026. Any big plans for the year, Morgan?
No big plans. We're going to start hunting, where I'm going to start hunting more with a rifle. So that is the new big 2026 plans.
That was your Christmas gift, right?
That was my Christmas gift. I got a nice long range rifle with a little. I didn't know it was considered a thumper, but even when men hear that, they're like at the shooting range, they're like, "Your wife is shooting that?" And Jake's like all smiley, like, "Yeah, she is." So, yeah, that is the next plans for 2026. So I'm intrigued to see how it goes because we're not doing the champ hunts, which is like Challenger accessibility, mobility preferred, where it's like where you can shoot from a vehicle. So we're not going to do those. So we're going to see how it goes on the physical aspect.
Nice.
But that being said, I will need to work on some strengthening in regards to all that fun stuff.
Morgan, how's your recovery coming?
It's going good. It's definitely is slower than I feel like I was even expecting it. And we went into the surgery, we went into physical therapy saying this is going to take longer than normal. But I think was the toughest part is I would say is my knee felt so unstable throughout the whole process of like 2 months, even I would say until like last couple weeks, that I felt like it was still torn. Like, and that was like scary for me. And even having the medical background, I was like, no, there's no way. Like, I feel like if I didn't have my medical background, I would have been freaking out totally more. And even like internally, I was like, it's okay. And then it was literally like Thanksgiving. It was like, oh, okay, it is feeling better. I don't get that shifting in the joint, or I don't get it as much.
That's good.
So yeah, it's just taking a little longer, but I would definitely say don't ignore the simple exercises.
Yeah.
That is my one time. I think my PTs are doing great over at the other clinic, but I do agree sometimes simple is better in the neuro population.
Yeah. This is the same as we tell anybody when the students come through. Don't overthink it, right?
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. At the end of the day, when we treat neuro, it's just like treating ortho. Everybody comes in here, they got a brain and a spine. We're doing the things, right? So sometimes it's the KISS theory, but I don't want to call anybody.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Facts, but
I don't want to call
okay.
anybody names. I'm just saying, keep it simple, Yeah. So Morgan has officially passed the 12-week mark. Woo. It was on my calendar. Every I might be an overbearing friend. I don't know.
No, that's okay. And those who don't know and didn't tune into our other episodes before was what is it, 6 to 12 weeks is your like in a ACL recovery. 6 to 12 weeks is where you're most likely to re-tear it. That being so, because you feel great and you're think, oh, I'm back to normal, I can do anything. And then I actually learned it is when the new graft is becoming less vascularized, so it doesn't have the blood basically to like replenish if you do accidentally push it a little too far. I know.
So wild.
Yeah.
And then you did yours from your own hamstring.
Yes.
So
yeah.
That's all healing well.
Yeah.
Scars look good.
Yeah, I am intrigued because I know Taylor and Corey, one of the techs over at Jason's, said they still struggle with the like hamstring tendonitis. Because they both got it and they didn't treat it like soon. So I'm kind of like, I wonder how that's going to be. I would definitely say my hamstring is weaker than what it was even before I went in for surgery.
Okay.
So.
All right. Now we know.
Now
right?
we know.
We all those episodes that we talked about the upcoming process, the nervousness and the anxiety that comes with not knowing how it was going to go. And I'm sure even your surgeon probably was like,
oh yeah, he literally
fingers crossed. Let's see how this goes.
The follow up, he's like, okay, so you're kind of like a guinea pig. So how'd it go? And I was like, well, so I do still have like numbness on the inside of my left leg where I didn't have before. It's like where before, because like you learn. You also learn that.
All right, I gotta cop up to something. In all the time that we've talked about you with your spinal cord injury and everything, and me just purely observing how effective and efficient you are throughout your day. Right? You just cruise, right?
Right.
My perception has been that your impairment was only that side, and I was wrong.
We were playing like footsie over there where like she's like, oh wait, is that the one you can feel on? And I said, well, technically it's both. I can't really feel. And she was like, what? Literally like on like Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
I literally thought it was just a one-sided thing. I did not
Didn't know.
Didn't realize it was both sides. So my bad. But hey, you move really great.
Yeah,
for
right.
that.
You would never know.
I think that's awesome. So even backing up to anybody that maybe doesn't know that you have a spinal cord injury, so and you're operating, like I said, very efficiently. You are fast. You are effective. You are a wonderful therapist.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Besides my walk, I feel like that's really the only thing. Thank you.
But I will say, so previously, before your ACL tear, I can hear you. I can typically hear you coming because there was always kind of that affected gait. Like there was always that quick gait. But Morgan was able to sneak up on me the other day, and I didn't hear you until till you were right behind me, and I already passed my hearing test, so it's not my hearing. So, and then just watching you move, like there's not nearly as much of that gait happening. So,
do you want me to tell you something that I realized? It's probably the first time in 10, let's go even 15 years. 10, I would say more 10 that I've consistently gone to physical therapy. Weird. And my walking is better. That I literally, once you said that, I said, oh, yeah, it's probably the first time I've actually like taken care of myself since like going to school and high school and all that.
And it's funny because one of our earliest conversations was like me being like, hey, like I don't want to be a jerk, but what's going on with your gait? And you're like, oh, well, I have an injury. And I'm like, I didn't know.
Really?
I didn't know that you had an injury. Because Dwayne had kind of said, well, you should ask her. But, like, she was my patient once upon a time. And I was just thinking he used to work in ortho. So I'm like, oh, maybe you were just one of his ortho patients. Maybe you got a bum ankle. I don't know. And every now and again you'd wear a brace. And sometimes you don't wear your brace. So she's not the best patient. She's a great therapist. Not the best patient.
But I can tell you from experience, if you don't do the things, you do pay for them. Trust me.
Yeah. And even I was trying to do some exercise the other day, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm trying to delay going to have my hip looked at because it's been achy and angry." And
see, we make the worst
patients. If I sit too
patients.
long, it's horrible. If I stand too long, it's horrible. But I'm trying to push things off, and yeah, I ain't nobody got time for that.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
Hey, now we have extra therapists. Maybe it is a time where you can actually go in and get it looked at. So we have a lot of
we got a lot of new faces here at Neuro and Brain. So we've brought on Heather. Heather's a new PTA. We have Corinne and another Morgan.
I know.
We can literally do the Morgan law firm commercial now because there's 2 Morgans now, and we have not figured out how to define. We can't say old. We can't say new.
Yeah,
because.
Yeah. People are calling her tall because she is taller than me.
Morgan, but that's kind of I don't.
But it is weird hearing like someone say Morgan or like in the talking of like you and Doran talking, and then I'll like go and turn. I'm like, oh yeah, wait, that's not me. Like
when DJ's here and he's talking about his wife, so she's a Valerie.
Oh yeah,
and he calls her Val.
Yeah,
and so like I'll hear Val and Valerie, and I'm like, who's talking to me? And I'm like, oh,
like,
oh
wait, yeah, it is weird. Yeah,
I guess there's other people that can be named that in our world, but whatever. Yeah. So good. I'm good on you for acknowledging that and speaking your truth.
Yeah, no, it definitely was like, wait, that's probably very accurate. And this is the first time, and I'll be honest that I am part-time now at work, so I don't work 40 hours or 40 plus hours. Now I'm working about 25 to 30, and again, that is kind of the first time I've taken the time to let my body heal. So I would say it's okay, and I'm learning it's okay to be a patient. Because I think for so long my parents pushed me to like, and I hate to say in this way of like be normal, but like be as normal as you can. And I think it's the first time where it's like, no, I need to take a step back. I need to take care of myself to be able to take care of other people.
Self-care.
Yep.
Right? Self-care is important. So that's awesome. Nice.
Well, what about you? I know you went on a fun trip. So tell us how everything and Chris went with. It was a birthday for him, right? Is that kind of what it was?
Yeah. This was like when I think when I gifted him that cruise, it was a birthday Christmas combination kind of thing, which is unfair to people who have babies in December.
Yeah, like that's Jake was born. Yeah,
don't be that person. Yep. So Sarah, growing up, so my daughter was born on December 31st. So of course, in that crazy time frame of Christmas, and then she was actually due 2 days after Christmas, but she came much later. She waited around, took her time.
She wasn't done cooking.
Yeah, so I always made sure to have gifts that were wrapped with Christmas paper and gifts that were wrapped with birthday paper. I made sure to
Did
differentiate.
separate. Yep.
And then as she's gotten older, we would have like her birthday party where it was like everybody would come over at like 3:00 and we would have a birthday party from like 3 to 8. And then we take down the birthday decorations and we put up the New Year's Eve decorations. And then we have our New Year's party.
That's fun.
So tried to separate everything. So that's why I'm so tired after the New Year.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'm broke. But
yeah.
so we went on a big trip. I mean, Alaska's pretty far away. But I feel like when you look at the map, Alaska being on the same coast that we live on, right? So this trip, we went to the Bahamas. And in doing that, we could not find a flight that was nonstop from Phoenix to Miami.
Okay.
So, and that's where we were cruising out of. What we ended up doing was flying nonstop from Phoenix to Orlando. And then in Orlando, we got on the Brightline train and took that down, and it was about 3 hours to go.
Okay.
And I would say it's very similar to an airport.
Okay.
Like, so when you get to the Brightline entrance, you basically give them your luggage. They weigh it just like you would on the airplane.
Yeah.
They take your luggage, they put it to baggage, and then you get your ticket and you go in. I would definitely suggest doing the upgraded ticket to where you get to have access to the VIP lounge.
That was what you...
That was nice. So you can go in there 2 hours before your train leaves.
Okay.
And it's all like digital. So like you scan your code and then it lets you in. If you are a minute before that, it won't let you in. So you have to wait
no
till your
way.
time.
It's literally...
Yep, I tried because I was like, we missed our connection on the first one because I did not anticipate how much distance. On the map of Orlando getting to the train, of the Orlando airport, it looks not a lot of distance. But in Orlando, you have to get off your plane, get out the gate, which were already delayed because we're the last ones off. We had to take a train to get to the baggage claim, get through baggage claim, and we have a lot of stuff. So it was I was trying to like juggle like 5 different suitcases, and we took the RioMobility, the Firefly. And so I had all this stuff to haul, and it's carpet. And he was in his manual chair. So he's trying to wheel himself, and while I'm pulling all this luggage. So somebody took pity on me, and they brought a cart over. And then that gentleman literally went on the train, and you got to take another train to get all the way over to the next terminal where Brightline's at. And then from there, he got me in the elevator up. We went, gave our luggage. But we missed the check-in by like 15 minutes for the luggage.
Yeah.
We could have made the train if we didn't have luggage.
Okay.
But anyway, we took advantage of the lounge, and I mean, there's literally like, I mean, you pay for it in your package, but unlimited beverages, including sodas, waters, coffees, cocoa, juices, beers and wines on tap.
Nice.
Lots of little munchy goodies.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, all your
so
little
we had
videos.
empanadas on the way out, and then on the way back, it was like breakfast time. So it was like French toast and bagels and toast and all kinds of yummy stuff. So that was really neat. And once you get on the train, you get to see, that was my first train experience. So you get to see a little bit more of like the views rather than just flying over the area. So, it absolutely activated my inner 5-6-year-old because I grew up, my grandparents lived in a little bit the quieter area of Queen Creek. That was before all the houses and everything were out there. And so the train tracks, we'd be driving to go see my grandparents, and we'd sit at the light because the trains would be coming, and they go through, and you're always trying to get them, make the sound, make sound, and they don't make sound, but it was a pastime to count the cars as they went by. You know. I got to be on the train.
You got to be on it,
and it was like boo, boo, as it comes through, and so it did. I felt like I was 5 years old, and I look over, and Chris was laughing at me because I was like just giddy going through these things and seeing all the people have to wait for the train.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know what it was about it. It was cool. I liked it. Oh, look at me. I got tears in my eyes because I was like, it was nostalgia. It was awesome.
So would you say the train was a better way versus, so if someone's looking and then needs accessibility versus doing like a one stop to go to actually get to Miami, do you feel like doing the train was actually worth it compared to doing
So if you're going between the Orlando, Miami area, there's multiple stops. So and they're quick stops. So you got to be, if you're a wheelchair user and you're getting ready to get off at like Fort Lauderdale or I think it was West Palm Beach was another one or something like that. Those stops are like quick, just like our light rail here.
Okay.
Like where it's like now arriving at whatever, and you're going to get off, and it's getting ready to go again. So it's probably maybe 2 minutes max.
Okay.
But if you're going to go to Orlando and you're going to shoot down to Miami, instead of doing the rental car and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
it is a much easier option.
Nice.
Chris was able to get the wheelchair on and off, no problem. The restroom on board was no problem, even with the Firefly attached. He was able to get in and out.
Oh yeah, that's
everything's all hand motion sensor, like to flush the toilet, to turn on the sink, to turn on the hand dryer.
Nice.
Everything.
Good for them for actually making it.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And then of course I'm a foodie, so I mean every 45 minutes it felt like they were coming through with snacks and stuff. So
on the actual train.
Yeah. On
Whoa.
the train. Yeah, I had a little salad thing, and I had cookies and snacks and soda and water, whatever I wanted. It was there.
Wow.
It was like.
It's nice.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Do that again.
I would absolutely do that again. It was cool. And then we jumped on to the Carnival Sunrise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell us.
All right. Let's talk about this. I booked on the Carnival Sunrise sometime last year. I was like, cool. We haven't gone out of Miami yet. Only for Netflix to later come out with the documentary.
So you booked it before
I booked
you
it
even knew?
Before I knew.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
And then I was having a conversation with my sister, and she goes, have you watched that Netflix documentary? And I'm like, yeah. About the poop cruise? She says, yeah. Isn't that your ship? And I said, no.
No, it can't be.
It was.
It was. Same exact one.
I did end up on the Carnival poop cruise. But I will say it was awesome. The ship was great.
Yeah,
of course they did like
$115
$115 million in renovations. They didn't just,
It wasn't a cleanup and
say,
all right.
Yeah, a little backstory for if you haven't watched it is that at one point in time, like 2000, I think 11, 12, somewhere in there, they had a fire on the ship and it shut down all of the generator, everything. Everything was non-operational. And of course people panic and everything else, but they couldn't use the toilets. The toilets they run on the electricity. So everything started overflowing. When people drink, you know how that goes. Well, they attached some tugboats to pull the ship, and as they started pulling and there was waves, it listed the ship, so all those overfull toilets started spilling, and hallways were flooded with muck. And but I was on the cruise. It was great. It was wonderful. It smelled just like a regular cruise on. I was gonna say you
said they had like little filters on the wall or little like air.
I've never seen them on any other ship, so I feel like they're purely doing it just to like accommodate people who are trying to say like it's gonna smell like poop on the ship.
Yeah,
it smelled
or more sensitive noses.
Yeah. It smelled wonderful. It smelled like cookies.
Wow.
It was like a vanilla cookie smell. So. I might have made more trips to the little bakery thing. That's probably why.
That's probably, maybe that was the whole point. It could be a
marketing tool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the ship was great. I've never been really with Carnival. I've never been on a ship where we didn't find it to be accessible for Chris to be able to get around. And this one actually there were some deck areas. So in previous ships, there have been some areas where it's like the basketball court or tennis or something like that up there. He's not interested in doing that anyway. No. But they didn't have access to. This one, we had access to an elevator to get us up to all of the areas.
Nice.
So we could go up to the, what did they have? They had a basketball court, and then they had foosball tables and pool tables and all kinds of stuff. There was an obstacle course. I didn't have the guts to do it. I thought about it, but the day that I was going to try it was windy.
Course? Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm good. So I didn't do it, but accessibility wise, the ship totally 10 out of 10. It was great. As far as ports, I officially have checked off the box. We got Chris back in the ocean at Princess Cay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that the place you guys weren't planning on it, or you didn't think it was going to? Is that one?
Yeah. So we had never been to, coming out of the Florida area, we'd never been to that side of the terminals and everything, so we didn't know what to expect. The Bahamas is actually, somebody's going to correct me on this, but like the United Kingdom, I believe, owns the Bahamas, or did at one point in time. So as far as like ADA stuff, they're a little bit better than some places we've been to, right?
Yeah.
But we stopped at Princess Cay, we stopped at Nassau, and we stopped at Celebration Key, which is Carnival's exclusive little private stop,
island,
right?
yeah.
Because all these cruises are now
having their own.
They're going to have their own. Royal's got their own. Princess got their own. Disney has their own. So when we stopped at Princess Cay, really what we were stopping for was we didn't know anything about it. we were looking for swimming shorts.
Oh.
Because I could not find his shorts before we left on the cruise. So I said, well, we'll just get off the ship. We'll go look for some shorts, and then we'll buy them, and then whatever. Because he felt the ones on the ship were too expensive.
And
Which
actually, they always are. Yeah.
I'll tell you, they were, but they were like $40. And then on the island, they were not. They were like $60, and there was not one size that would have fit him. They were all for small, petite people.
Oh.
But what we did find was the beach wheelchairs. And so now that I have had an encounter with them, I'll tell you, they make them out of the PVC with the big blown up tires, right?
Yeah.
Air-filled tires. And that's awesome. That's awesome for people who want to enjoy the ocean like all the rest of us, right?
Right.
The problem, though, is that generally those pieces don't come apart to where you could do a transfer. So luckily for us, somebody must have been looking out for us. The universe gave its grace. We found one that had a removable side because it was more of like a metal wheelchair seat.
Okay.
Like a transport chair that had been put together.
Yeah.
So we popped that off. He transferred over. I was able to successfully get him into the ocean. So he got to swim and float at Princess Cay. It was wonderful. Much easier to get in the water than it is to get out of the water.
Yep.
So we're chilling in the water, and even I had not dressed for the occasion, so I'm out there with a t-shirt and shorts, and emptied my pockets and put everything, and I had wheeled him into the water, and once you hit a certain point, it starts to float, and then he was like, all right, bloop, and I plopped him out. And then reverse approach, right? I think, okay, I'm going to wheel it out there. I'm going to push it down. I'm going to hold it down while he, gets himself into the seat. Because he's pretty upper body strong, No. There's not enough weight that I could have pushed down to push those tires underwater. So that's how we met our friends Tay and Randy. They're in Delaware. So if they're watching, Tay and Randy, thank you so much for helping us. I just downloaded the video last night, and I was laughing so hard because it was comedic, totally comedic.
Was this the GoPro you had
This
it on?
was the GoPro footage.
Oh,
now, I affectionately call it the booby cam because it's strapped to my chest. So some of that is not usable footage because it's very much me hugging him, trying to get him out of the water.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is you can hear all the interaction, and Tay's like, you guys are trying to float him out to the ship. I was laughing so hard. And so basically how I met Tay and Randy was I looked around and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. Yeah. And so I was like, hey, can I borrow your man? And so Randy came over, and he's a big dude, and we're holding it down, and Chris is trying everything, and you can hear us trying to troubleshoot, and Tay's like, back it up a little bit, see if that helps. And then we're trying to get it. And then eventually one of the lifeguards came over, and he's like, hey, let's try. He did attempt our method. We were trying to get him in there, and it wasn't working. So we ended up backing it out to land where it was stable, and then we just ended up picking him up like fireman carry. So they picked up under an arm, and then excuse me, and then we picked him up, and I grabbed his legs, and that's what the camera is Chris's legs. Just
okay.
And so we put him back in the chair, and then Randy helped me get him up there, and oh, now I gotta tickle my throat. Talking about the story made me laugh so hard. Anywho, this is why we don't edit. It's real. Yeah. So we ended up chatting with them for a bit and everything, and we ran into them again later on the last night of the ship. And we had a cocktail together, and just good people. Made some other friends. I
was just gonna say, talk to you about talk to him about
David
the
and
guy.
Kelly. David and Kelly. They're on my Facebook too. So Tay and Randy are on my Instagram. Okay. David and Kelly are on my Facebook. So this is the first cruise where we made friends.
Woo! It's so fun, actually.
It was awesome. But funny story. Mimi, Kelly's mom, happened to see Chris zooming by with his Firefly. Yeah. And she was like, what's that? And so we ended up talking at the cabin. They were up the hall from us, but David had recently had a ankle surgery. And so he was all holed up in his room and leg propped up and stuff. And so talking to his wife, she's like, yeah, you'll have to come meet him and everything. And they unfortunately had a work accident where he had fallen off a ladder and landed and broke his ankle. It required a surgery on the calcaneus and everything.
Oh, wow.
And so he had contemplated not going on the cruise, but it was like a family cruise, like his mom, everybody, and so they decided to come, and so sure enough, I ended up going over, saying hello, and kind of talking them through some things, and just talking therapy for a little bit, which it never fails. I always end up talking about therapy on every cruise I go, whether it's a part of the crew where they've like, hey, I got this back thing, it's just like being a therapist and going to Thanksgiving, right? Somebody's gonna ask you to look at something.
I literally got a call from my dad. Hey, I got a medical question for you this morning. I'm like, all right, it's 8:00, Dad, you got it.
It happens, right? So no, I ended up chatting with them, and they're good people. And honestly, to be quite honest, like probably as long as you're good with it, I'll attach the link to they've got a GoFundMe going on. They're small business owners. With David being out of work right now, they've got a GoFundMe going to help keep the lights on, so to speak. Tay, Randy, David, Kelly, Mimi, Tyrone, they were all really, really good people. I had a blast. We got to see all the things we wanted to see. I've never seen a bluer ocean water than that.
That's what I hear in those pictures. Are gorgeous.
Just amazing. It's always, I've never had a bad day on a ship. Like I said, our room stewards, all those people are just fantastic. Everybody who makes everything go. We did do a behind the scenes tour.
Oh yeah,
so I was able to see the accessible. They had an accessible tour, so we were able to do that. And I mean, we went down to the belly of the ship. And they call it the I-95.
That's where it's like everything is.
It's the whole hallway, all the way from the front of the ship to the back of the ship, and forward and aft. I'm learning.
Yeah. How many cruises in now?
7. That was my 7th. That was Chris's 6th. We will refrain from doing the whole. No, I'm gonna do it. The 6-7 just to mess with my kids because they're gonna be like, "What's that?" Stupid kids. But we went and got to see everything from like what the crew eating areas look like to we got to visit HR and talk to them a little bit. I said, hey, we need to work on getting physical therapy on these ships. It'd be better for everybody.
Better for some therapists.
It was so cool. It was so cool. We got to go on the bridge and see everything, the view of the whole view of the ocean, and then like there's like a glass there's like a plate on the floor that's glass and see-through, and that's so they can look down and see exactly how close to the dock they are. And then each ship has kind of a little bit of like they call them wings. They come out to the side, so they can be standing there looking down, watching that they're getting close when they pull into a dock, and they're looking down the end of the ship to see
that the other end is coming
in. So it's a well-oiled machine for sure.
For sure, yeah.
But
just watching them like that, Jake and I think got the biggest kick out of just watching them pull into a dock and the lines and all that.
It's amazing. So I will tell you this is what I did learn, and it's a little bit about conservation, because of course they can't just be dumping things out. You can get fined for dropping anything over the side of your balcony or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's $500 if they catch you smoking out there, or if anything goes over that over your balcony. It's a fine. Because it's so much about conservation. But what I learned is, and it helped me the last couple of days of behaving myself as far as food goes, is that they have a competition between all their ships. And what they're doing is it's to limit waste. And so if you ever pay attention to when they pull your plates when you're like eating whatever, and they take your plates off to the side, behind the scenes a little bit, they're actually sorting your waste. And they're sorting it between like a soft and a hard food.
Wow.
And in the belly of the ship, there is a compartment. So if it's all soft foods, they have like pictures of all the foods on the ship, coffee grounds, everything that comes down to recycling, right? They add a microorganism to the soft stuff, and it helps that break down. And then they have like a some sort of like a grinder to break down all the bones, anything like that. They break everything that's hard down, and then that goes over, and then that is what is eventually released to feed the fish, right? So, but it is all broken down so that it is better for the environment, but also the employee area. When we went down there, they have a little scanner, and so this is where the competition comes in. So they have the same access to foods and stuff as everybody else on the ship. They can go in there and get as much as they want, but they're encouraged to get their plate, only get what they could eat, And if they want to go back and get more, of course.
Right.
But you're encouraged to only get what you eat. And as you're basically scanning in your plate at the end of it.
No way.
To show that you didn't waste anything. And then that becomes a competition. And then they have like prizes for whatever ship has the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool though.
It's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
And so they can win like a day off and all these things and all. So it was kind of cool to see like some of the camaraderie that happens in the ship. And it's funny because we talked to a couple people and they're like, we actually don't know a lot of the people because everybody's on a contract. But everybody comes in, they have one job.
Yes.
And it is like an ant farm. I mean, everybody has one specific job, and that's what keeps everything moving so smoothly. Because if you think about the turnaround between coming in, getting 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people off of a ship, cleaning it, refilling it, getting all the luggage in, and getting everybody checked in and starting all over again in a, let's see, usually you come into port about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they're already leaving by 4 or 5 o'clock. So it's a short window of time.
It's literally a quick turnaround. Yeah.
To have all of that happen. And so it's really cool. I enjoyed the fact that we were able to learn a little bit about the behind the scenes stuff because I love cruising. I absolutely do. But I always sit there going, I don't have to think about anything while I'm on it.
Yes.
Other than making it back to my room and sleeping and getting up and getting off the ship, you know. And then, of course, getting off the ship, very easy. The only issue we had with getting on and off the ship with the Firefly was that the way that it operates and the way that the cruise sometimes is that we're coming at such an angle that there was a couple times I had to give them a little push to get over like
I saw that in your videos.
But other than that, no big deal. It was good.
Talk about the Firefly. Let's talk because I wanted to touch on that.
RioMobility Firefly. So it is a electrical front wheel essentially. So it's got a battery. You charge the battery. It's a motorized wheel, and you put little brackets onto the front of the wheelchair, the manual chair, and that just clips on. So you get it. It's a lot to put together. Once you get it all adjusted, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But so basically he gets into position, he pulls that up, you clip the brackets on, he kind of pops like a little bit of a wheelie, it lifts the front wheel casters. Yeah. And then from there it basically makes the wheelchair like a 3-wheeler.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Totally conserves shoulder energy. So we came away from this cruise with a lot less pain because he didn't have to try so hard or wheel himself so hard.
Just so those carpets are thick and the ships are long.
So most Carnival's pretty good about that. Disney was not so much. Disney had a lot of plush carpet. So and that was our first experience with the manual chair. So this was our next return back to doing a manual chair on a ship. Okay. Absolutely no problem.
Really? You would do it again?
But we also had the Rio. So how much of that is one way or another? I think he still could have wheeled himself around a little bit in the hallways and stuff because it was thinner carpet. But it was good. It was good. So we really didn't have much of an issue. I will be doing a little bit more of a more in-depth review of Carnival's Celebration Key because I do have every intention on sending them my input. Yeah. It's unsolicited input, but of how they can make their private island a bit more accessible for people. And wheelchair users and that kind of thing. Because I saw people who are ambulatory that still needed more help. Yeah. And they're definitely trying. You can see the efforts are there to make it more accessible. It's just they just opened it this year, and so last year.
They're still learning. Yeah.
So they're still learning. If anybody from the cruise lines wants to hire me, as a consultant of each of your ports, I'm 100% absolutely on board to do. No pun intended. On board. But yeah, it was great. I couldn't leave my therapy life. I'm just saying. But, no. But a little vacation to go do some consulting would be awesome. I don't mind that.
Or be like, sorry, Dwayne, we're leaving for 3 months to go do therapy on people.
I'm gonna take a contract. And,
I think Dwayne would be like, all right, cool, I'm coming with.
Yeah, he's been trying to make that his thing too. So, and I mean, if we got to follow American law on it, then sure, we have to have a PT. But if we're following international guidelines,
that is true, and that's normally.
I'm just gonna wear a pirate costume.
Arr, all right.
Arr, next letter PT. Oh man, yeah. What else, Morgan? What else? Enough about my travel.
Well, that's about it. I would say we've kind of touched on everything. New year.
Yeah. New year, new me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Same. New year, same me. Yeah. And I mean, just kind of reiterating the whole idea there is travel is possible.
Yes.
So,
yes. Don't think it's not. Even if you have ambulatory, even if, full on wheelchair.
Non-mobility, whatever the mobility issues are, seeing this world is still an option. So please don't let an injury hold you back from being able to do something. It takes a little bit more planning. It definitely takes some planning. But it's possible.
You can do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. And the flying. And it doesn't take, we have to drive. Nope. Like, you can do it.
No, we could. We did for our first one. But after that, after we started flying again, we're like, this is possible. Is it difficult? Yeah, it's a little more difficult. But can I do it? Yeah. We can make it happen.
Is it going to look like what it used to? No. But and I feel like that's the moral of kind of all of this and what we say probably 100 times. Like, it's not going to look the same. It's not going to feel the same. But you're able to do it, and that's I think that's more important.
Independence is always our goal. Our goal is always to get you doing what you want to do. So whether it looks a little different, that's fine.
It's okay.
No big deal. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, that was a nice quick little episode. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Either
Saturday Night Live
or Saturday, literally
the weekend update.
Welcome back. So I said, look like we're on like a talk show, radio, or one of the newscasters on. Hello, welcome.
Now coming back.
No, back to you at the studio of Neuro and Brain. Just kidding. No, thank you everyone for listening to our podcast, and again keeping us accountable on making sure we're doing more episodes and just letting us know that you guys are listening and that this is actually helpful and reaching out to people. Thank you to our people who are out of state, out of country. We literally still don't even, I think, can fathom that people outside of our little circle or our little clinic here actually listen and want to continue to listen to us. So we really do appreciate it. If you are interested in being a guest, and like Val said in the beginning, we have someone on the books for a phone interview or if not a Zoom interview. So it is possible. Please reach out to us at our email at you're not alone podcast48@gmail.com. I am trying to get better on checking those emails, and that's why I felt bad for that gentleman. I was like, I'm sorry, it was the holidays, but seriously, if you're interested, we have cool t-shirts, we have stickers, we have a bunch of stuff access for you. And if you have family members who don't really know how to access podcasts, we have cards here, all over social media. Yeah, you just scan a QR code if you're in, or at least like in town or anything like that, or just kind of share. And every every comment, every download you get actually helps us. So keep doing that. Keep listening. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah. That being said, if you or your loved one is in need of physical therapy, I should specify physical therapy, occupational therapy, or speech therapy, give us a shout. We are located just west of Recker and Brown Roads in East Mesa at 5761 East Brown Road. We are Suite 19, Mesa, Arizona, 85205. Give us a call at 480-719-8080. If you are old school and faxing some info over, it's 480-981-8595. Our website is neuroandbrain.com. And that is where you can see lovely bios of yours truly. Yes. So, and that's the other thing we should probably chat about. We'll be looking for some of our colleagues to come on here and kind of give you a little bit of their background of what they like to treat.
What got them into therapy.
We should probably ask them, what's your favorite case to treat? What was somebody that really impacted your life as a therapist that was like, this is why I'm doing what I do?
Yep. So,
yeah. So that's pretty much that. That's it. Welcome to 2026. We appreciate everybody being here. And like I said, if you need us, holla. And I'm Val. I'm out.
I'm Morgan, and I'm out.
Goodbye.